Hey, this is Prentice, and what we're going to do today, I think over the next couple of videos, is give you a couple of more things that we can do to help with your shoulder health. And why is this? I mean, there are many joints that are important, starting at the bottom. Ankle sprains, knee stuff is common. A lot of us sometimes, because of what we do or do not do, have some low back problems and also shoulder problems. I'm starting with the shoulder. What I want you to do before I get started is, if you're new, if this is the first time you're seeing this, please subscribe to the page, and always, as always, after the video, leave your comments in the comment section below. With our shoulder, the joint, first of all, remains relatively safe if it's for simplified purposes. The shoulder is just a ball and a socket, and our shoulder remains safe if that ball can remain centered in that socket through all of its ranges of motion. Whatever the angle is, you want that the head of the arm to be centered in the socket, and also you want the muscles around there to be coordinated, reflexive. We don't want to throw the ball and use all of those big muscles in the front of the chest, along with the body weight, the momentum created by the body to keep going when that arm should start to decelerate or slow down when the ball is released. So it should remain centered. And what we want to do is to teach our bodies through all of these exercises we're doing, and finishing that up with various strength exercises, or anything to increase the load, to really ingrain that pattern into our bodies. We want to teach our bodies to maintain that stability. Sometimes it's hard to control with previous injuries, our day-to-day activities, or on the other side of that, our day-to-day inactivities. We start to ingrain in poor postural patterns that may cause overactivity or tightness on one side of the joint, and as a result, on the other side of the joint, little weakness or underactivity or lack of drive to those muscles. So we want to regain control and regain coordination by doing various exercises. What I want to focus on is just using a stick. And we're going to take our shoulder if you've downloaded my report, if not, I'll leave a link below in the description. I want you to download my report, and I kind of talk about that in there, about phase 1, level 1 training. We don't want to go too hard. This is a motor learning phase where we want to teach our body to do as many things. So that part of our training dictates that we're not going to do this at very high speed. So in this activity, we're going to take our shoulder through ranges of motion, and we're going to start with a forward circle. So I'm going to take this simple stick here. It could be anything you have laying around the house, lying around the house. But when you start out, take something light. We're just working on the pattern. Now, for forward circle, we're going to stagger our stance a little bit. Leg on the stick side is back. And we're going to take this arm, our notice how as the stick passes behind me, I'm going to rotate with it. Now you can notice I'm moving through here very slowly, and I'm only moving through the ranges where it feels smooth. As I'm moving through, especially getting the arm over the head, I want to avoid shrugging into this movement. So as my arm gets over the head, I want to think about letting my shoulders sink in, or actually gets compressed into the socket to help it remain centered as my arm elevates and gets above the head. And of course you would do that on the other side. Next, we're going to go to the back circle. And same thing, I'm going to start with this arm in the front, stick in the front, the leg on the stick side is staggered back. I'm going to bring the arm over the head and open up. Another detail is that I'm following the head of the stick or the club, whatever you have, because we never move a joint. It's hard to move a joint in isolation. There's something going on above or below that joint to help make movement happen. So I'm not going to restrict that. And finally, we're going to do an inner circle. So again, starting with the stick in the front, we're going to cast this out. And what do I mean when I say cast? You should do this for all stick techniques. I'm going to ask you, I'm going to challenge you to channel your inner sword fighter. And I'm going to take my little finger, wrap it around the base of the stick. I'm not going to overlap my thumb. Just going to put my thumb on the back here. And my index finger, not really gripping this, my index finger is kind of pointing. If I chop down with the stick, my index finger is pointing in the direction of the chop. And then when the stick hits its end range, I can go ahead and grip the stick. So starting here in the midline, this is sometimes called the order position. I'm going to chop this stick across the center line of the body. Bring it all the way overhead and pull down. Again, notice I'm not staying here with my feet planted. You need your entire body to move. And finally, we're going to do an outside circle. So, starting in this order position, I'm going to press it up, and cast the stick out away from the midline of the body and pull it down. Cast it out. Make a complete circle, finishing above the head. Pull it down to the aortic position. So if I'm in a self-defense situation, I'm going to chop that out to the side. Swing it around. Do a little back fist. Again, with a stick this light, keep it in 8 to 13 rep range. We're really patterning the movement now. So go slowly, and if you feel areas that are rough, where the shoulder is catching, I'm using very technical terms, but if the range doesn't feel smooth, it feels kind of jagged, make the range of motion smaller. So back to the forward circle. If I can't go all the way back, even with a proper rotation, I can't go back here, but it's comfortable right here. See the difference? Then that's the range I'm going to train in. As I get more coordinated and I have that brain-body connection, understands what I'm trying to do, and provided that there's nothing else going on in the joint, eventually you'll be able to access that range of motion. But practice slowly. Don't try to hide your compensations, if you have any, by moving fast. And definitely don't load up with weight too quickly. If you have poor movement patterns, just loading it up with weight initially will continue to have those same poor movement patterns. Train slow, train light, and once you get to your desired range of motion, then you can do all the other fun stuff. That's it for now. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and as always, if there's something that you'd like to see, leave me a comment in the section. If you're new, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.